special thank you to WaveRunner for supporting JD's Waterworld. WaveRunner, life is simple, just add water. Hey guys, JD here with the 2025 Yamaha FX SVHO WaveRunner. And I just picked this up from the dealership and I'm about to take the ski out for its break-in ride. But before I hit the water, I've got a couple key tips for you to get this machine ready for its maiden voyage. So let's start here at the back and work our way forward. Okay, so right off the bat, I just want to show you now, this is our steering linkage here, and it's got a little bit of grease on it, but not really enough for my liking. All these linkages here are also basically dry. You can see there's a little bit of grease on the sides of the bucket there, but these quick connect fittings here are completely dry. Yamaha, these are stainless steel, which is really nice. We're going to add some grease to these. And also, if you look in there, you can see that is our ride system actuator. There's another quick connect up at the top there. If you could just see it, yep. All those linkages need to be lubricated. And then right here, your trim, you could see, we've got a second one right there. This here is corrosion block marine grease. This grease has corrosion preventative additives. So I'm going to go, and again, this will wash off, right? It's going to. But if you apply this after each ride, and then not all of it will wash off, a portion of it will remain in these fittings and prevent them, especially I'm riding in salt water. So they should have, they should be adequately greased. Also, I just like to add some grease to the mounts for my step. And this is not something you can just do and forget. You're gonna have to do this you know, pretty often. I'm gonna see if I can get in there. So you can see I've got grease on my steering linkage. I've got grease on my quick connect for my ride system. I've got grease on the quick connect for my trim. Very good. And then I've got the linkage back there as well, you can see. All right. So another interesting thing is that the Yamahas come from the factory with no silicone on the ride plate. The Yamahas, you've got this big gap. Now you can see they've got a wedge in there, like a piece of rubber. This right here creates turbulence. Okay, so what we want to do is first we're going to clean all these surfaces with isopropyl alcohol, and then we're going to use a marine grade silicone sealant to fill in this gap. Now you can see, of course, my trailer bunk is slightly obscuring part of it, so it'll be difficult to do, but you want to fill. This is the main gap you want to fill. This, look at that. That has to be filled. You also kind of want to go along the sides as well. Now keep in mind that if you install silicone, you should wait 24 hours for the silicone to, oh wow, and there's some roughness here too. I might end up grabbing some emery cloth and trying to smooth that out a little, but the bottom line is get that surface nice and clean. The ski's brand new, so it's not too difficult. And we're going to seal this in with silicone. My finger. All right, so you can see I've got that all sealed. I've got the edges here all sealed. So since we're working our way from the back to the front of the ski, now we're going to go ahead and remove our rear seat and look down in there, and there's our battery, and you can see that those battery terminals are completely dry. So I checked this battery right when I got home, and it was actually basically at 12 volts, which is considered dead. So I trickle charged this battery overnight, and you want to check the voltage on a new battery. So now after charging it, our battery is at 13 volts, which is perfectly charged. And adding grease to these terminals, this isn't something JD's making up. This is actually in the Yamaha service manual. And now here's our boot. And we're going to slide that all the way up and put it in place right like that. See how that boot is covering the terminal? See how this one is not? All right, so now we're going to take care of our negative terminal, grease that, and then we're going to make sure our boot looks the same as our positive terminal. So as we work our way to the front of the ski, the next thing we have to check is that our engine oil is filled properly, that it's not underfilled, that it's not overfilled. Either way can be detrimental. Got to make sure the engine's level. So you can see right now that the ski is leaning way towards the back. So the oil level won't be accurate. So what I'm going to do next is we are going to pop this plastic cover off of the engine here. And I probably won't put it back on. So it's coming off now. Also rubber dampers over there. Made in Japan. So our next thing is going to be to check our oil. Look at that, it's never even been run. It's dry up there. Okay, so to check our oil properly, we're gonna have to make sure our engine is level. So what we have to do now is lower the front of the trailer in order to get this level. So now I've leveled my trailer, and that's the lowest point I could get the front of the trailer to. Good enough. So now we are gonna check our engine oil, and you can do this cold. So you're going to pull your dipstick out and you're going to wipe it off. So I just wiped my dipstick clean. We're now going to reinsert. Wait a couple seconds. And we're going to pull it out. And we're going to check. And this looks like the oil is slightly low, just over the lowest mark. So we have to add a little bit of oil to this engine, but we want that oil to be right in the middle of the dipstick there. Don't have my funnel. Hope I got that on camera. Look at that, perfect execution, didn't spill a drop. So added a little bit of oil. I'll check the dipstick again. It should be exactly in the middle. All right, so looking at this now, if I could get a focus. So I don't know if you guys could see that or not, but it's about exactly in the middle of the dipstick now. So it actually took about half a quart. It was down half a quart. Maybe you could see that there. It's like right in the middle now. All right, so we've checked some really important things. We've checked our battery. We've checked our oil. We've added some dielectric grease to our connectors. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to check some of our safety equipment. So here's our fire extinguisher. I've heard that some dealers will sell a ski without a fire extinguisher. Now there's one critical flaw with the Yamahas here. Not with the old Yamahas, but with the new ones. That is that this fire extinguisher will inevitably rust because it's in the front here. Salt water gets in. So it will rust sitting there like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray it down with anti-corrosive lubricant, and we're going to put it in a plastic bag. Now, some of you might think that this looks a little bit ghetto. I didn't have a plastic bag that was big enough to fit over the whole thing, so I took two separate Ziploc bags and then taped them together in the center. And you can see that it's watertight. There's a little bit of air, and you shouldn't be able to squeeze it out. Trust me, the position of these fire extinguishers is not the best, and the fire extinguishers will rust out. And then you won't be in compliance with the U.S. Coast Guard if that does happen. So I cover it with the bag. And again, the bag's easy to tear. If you did need the fire extinguisher, you could just rip that bag. So you definitely want to, and again, I sprayed that down with some WD-40 before I put it in the bag. That'll keep it from rusting out. Hopefully you never need it. It could sit in here now for 15 years and not rust. If you leave it just raw, it will rust out and stain your inside of your compartment here. All right, so now that we're up here, let's take a look at this cylinder here. You can see it's all dry, no grease, dry, no grease. We're going to go ahead and grease those pivot points now. So the Yamaha does not use any type of key or immobilizer. The immobilizer is actually in the display. Let's turn on the display. Okay, so you can see here, this is actually for 2025. They have new modes for the display. And that's one of the modes with those new gauges. So we're gonna go all the way to the right here, and you can use the touch screen. I'm using the little D-pad here just so I have a... So now the stock pin code is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's what it is from the factory. But we don't want to do that. We want to reset the pin code. So you're going to go to settings. You're going to go to pin settings, current pin 1, 2, 3, 4, enter, new pin. It then asks you to confirm, and you hit enter. Now that pin has been entered, so if you hit lock, you're going to type in your pin. So now you have engine lock. So now the ski's locked. So if you go to start it, nothing will happen. So I highly suggest that you set your own pin right away, and that you lock the WaveRunner when it's not in use to prevent it from being stolen. When you're at the dock and you get up to go launch, you know, when you launch at the dock and you go to park your car, always hit that and lock the ski. I want to show you something that I noticed here, and that's, look at this gap here between the handlebar. I mean, there's this big gap right here. And then on this side, there's almost not enough gap, and it's kind of pushing open here. So, you know, I'm trying to figure out what exactly is going on here. This, I don't like how that looks. That's not right. Look at that. I could fit my whole finger in there. And then on this side, there's no gap at all. So something's wrong here. So I'm gonna have to take this apart, and we'll have to figure out why it's not fitting together right, whether something's broken or bent or what. But I completely missed this on my walkthrough of the ski. Okay, so I'm going to continue to go through, and we're going to have to take this whole fairing off of the handlebars here to sort out why there's a big gap on this side and no gap on that side. I'm starting to think that it's because the handlebar was not positioned correctly. So I'm going to fix that. So I've got pretty much everything off here, so now we're going to take this all off. All right, so I've got the handlebar cover off, and what you could see is that this is not centered properly. It's a little too far over to the left, but I gotta tell you, this doesn't look half bad with the plastic off. So you're gonna laugh at me, but I'm just leaving it like this. It's actually pretty funny, but this is about 5 pounds right here, all this crap I just took off. All right, so I've got that bulky handlebar plastic out of the way, and I got some blue zip ties on here, Yamaha. Of course, my Cowie actually has those light blue zip ties that match this one perfectly, but I ran out of those. So I had these ones, they look okay. I'm gonna upgrade my handlebar assembly eventually, but this is the factory riser on the FX, and stainless bolts here. All right, guys, and my steering is ready to go. I've reattached this factory rope connector, which is pretty cool. I got it all. I had to modify the hardware a little bit to get it to fit. I just put these Allens back in just to fill up those bolt holes, and I gotta tell you, the stock riser assembly, it's aluminum. I am going to attempt to polish this out, and we will see how that goes. But for the meantime, these are all stainless steel. The handlebar itself, you know, is nothing special here, but it looks like I could fit an aftermarket handlebar assembly in the factory riser here, just bolt right in without any further modification. I've got my Waves RX patented tri-fenders ready to go. I've got my Waves RX docking pal bungee lines. I do have my beach spike, and then I've got the ski actually was, as I mentioned in the video, it was about just over a half quart low. I'm bringing some oil as well. And now I've got these Waves RX soft cleats, and I'm going to install these in a couple places. So I've got my seat off, and I'm going to use this bolt right here. Okay, perfect. So now I'm going to install my longest Waves RX soft cleat right here. There you go. And so that'll hang out right like that. And let's see how that looks with the seat in place. So that fits great with the seat. I'm going to start out with one here. That'll allow me to get a tri-fender right here. And then I could put a second, for now I could clip it to the rub rail. All right, I am here at the boat ramp getting ready to launch this FX SVHO for the break-in ride. And I just did an article on this for Waves RX, so if you're subscribed to their newsletter, you would have seen it. It talked about PWC docking. And I always say get everything prepared before you get in the water. Of course, it's empty here, not a soul in sight, so I could take my time. It doesn't really matter. But I've got my Waves RX tri-fenders positioned. I've got my soft cleats. I'm gonna probably play with the soft cleats, figure out, talk to some guys, see where the best place to put them is. For now, I'm gonna use that soft cleat for both the tri-fender and this Waves RX docking pal bungee. And then I just wanna show you guys this on the FX. This is very cool. Once you pop this compartment open, you can see there's a notch that allows you to keep that rear line attached. So this is another Waves RX line I've got right here. And I'm just gonna pull that out so that it's ready to go. But this is kind of neat where, you know, and this is not really, this is like a flimsy plastic lid, but it's cool just to put your lines in. All right, let's get her in the water. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more exclusive jet ski content, only on JD's Water World.